So give us all the no's you gave us.
Oh boy.
I hate it. I hate all of it. Start over. We knew it was sort of time to do a little bit of repositioning. Not that what we had was wrong, it was just it wasn't quite right. Plus we had an amazing team, so we're sort of like, there's a little bit of like, why not? Let's just see what happens. So we did some minor updates to it, but for the most part we had left it alone for, I would say, almost 6 years. And then it has like the scope things around it, so it's a Sightbox. It's quite literal in a sense, right? Our creative director, Mauro, in one of the meetings was like, he had actually already done some of the strategy stuff prior, and then he sort of made mention, he's like, what do you guys think if we mess with the logo a little bit? Turning around like, you want to mess with that? We didn't think it would be a branding or rebranding. But I said we're open, so he came back with a whole sort of pitch for what that could be and what a good, some of the reasons behind why we should. And then Charlie and I said we're not gonna really touch it ourselves, even though we did, of course, get in there, but only to embarrass ourselves.
Hey guys.
Hi.
I don't know if we have.
Pretty cool, huh?
Big strategy.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Not bad. I have to learn how to drive. I think where we're in the direction we're going in, it's been pretty evident right away that the visual language and the visual identity of where we're sort of landing with things is just really positioning us to be in that space that we want to be playing in, right? Web3, crypto, blockchain, the future of those things. And so how do we go from the current visual identity into sort of this new one, right?
One of the big questions that I asked you guys, like, okay, well, what does the logo mean to you guys? There wasn't really like a strong narrative behind it. It was just like a symbol and a logo that you guys kind of carried from the very beginning. And as we went through, the exercises of defining the company's culture, the clients, the feelings, and all these different elements, we started to really figure out exactly all the reasoning why Sightbox is Sightbox. You guys are going for something that is really unique and really special, not only to you guys personally, but also to the whole industry in the startup world. Looking at it now, it's like we did a lot of work. There's been a lot of months of different work and really understanding all these nuances of the strategy. Speaking, I think, directly to the design and the concept, we wanted to have something that was really dynamic. You could just continuously evolve, right? Something that touched on innovation and Web3 and everything that's coming up. A pretty amazing job. Rachid, did a tremendous job really harping and understanding the concept, the visual concept, and kind of throw it really, really out there, and then being able to really land it with some really strong structures and the power of colors, shapes. I think it's a really interesting representation and evolution of the square, right? Looking at it, 3D sort of, looking at it, there's different dimensions to it, there's different elements to it, there's much more to see.
Just kind of keeping it super simple as far as the overall style is kind of minimalistic, but still has kind of almost a futuristic vibe as well. Just trying different gradient styles, the colors, super minimal. We kind of talked about being able to bring a little bit of some motion to the different pillars of the brand and different parts of the brand as far as the agency, the co-founders and the venture arm, and kind of playing a lot with that.
It's crazy that what Rachid ended up doing is building a sort of that grid, right?
Yeah.
And then trying to iterate on creating shapes that made sense within the grid, right? Yeah. We were sort of playing around with this idea of a cube, a box, right? Different things.
Yeah.
Which is cool because we were able to sort of get an S kind of right out of there.
by using this Rachid's mesh and using it as a 3D stage, 3D environment. So from there, I placed a cube, which would be the evolution of the previous flat square icon that we had. And I realized that what gave the sensation of the volume were the edges and the corners here. So those elements should be highlighted. And well, after some experimentation and testing, here we have the letter S is a little more noticeable. But since the premise was to have a flat shape that would suggest the idea of 3D, I decided to replace these gradients here of the shadows with empty spaces, which could trick the eye and maintain that effect. So I cut it out and finally had a flat design of a three-dimensional object and with the initial letter of the company as an icon.
New Haas.
Yep. Letting go of that dim was
I know, that's hard.
was hard. It's like letting a baby kind of grow up.
Yeah.
You know?
Let someone else have them now.
Yeah. And then here's kind of the use of some of the patterns, which are fun. This is really slick right here. This is the use of the patterns again. The monochromatic logo and then the hat, which I may or may not have this hat already. I may or may not have the white on the black.
Oh shoot.
And then here's some concepts for
Sketchbooks.
Which I think we got approval on. So you might see that sometime soon. Here's an idea for the backdrop since we got the old logo now back there. A lot more goodies, but I'm gonna save those for the launch. So stay tuned for that.
And as I previously said, that this time too many hands in the pot didn't spoil the sauce. So long live this new brand for a lot of years to come.
What we do here is go back.
Trespasser in the house. Our boy Spencer flew in today to shoot this video, so we go way back. This is what you call one of those homie projects. But he brought the big guns. He brought the Komodo and the dragon or whatever.
Raptor.
The Raptor. I don't even know the name of these things anymore.
I don't want it to be nuclear sharp for obvious reasons, and we're shooting on kind of vintage lenses that bloom already, but I'm just putting like a little quarter black chromist on there, kind of get a little more blooming from like our practical lights and stuff and soften the skin a little bit.
We got our script. It's a little wordy, but I think it encapsulates everything we want to say. So, cool. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Marty.
That's why I said it.
And our old new vision for the future and created an all new dimension for Sightbox.
That's a really interesting movie. Like there's so many dimensions, there's so many sides to everything that we do.
We grew into an international team. A new era of innovation. We believe blockchain will unlock new business models. Our agency has always focused on evolution and innovation. We started with a humble beginning in Folsom, California, and now we've grown into an international team.
Today we stand at the beginning of a new era.
I like everybody films behind the scenes now, and then that scares me because everything that comes out of my mouth will get me canceled.
I'm gonna cancel him right now.